Hey everybody, Steve Gamache here with another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. And what we have this time is the Yahiko Ginsan, excuse me, hammered Santoku 165 millimeter knife. So this line of knives has three-layer construction, and the hardcore cutting-edge steel is what's known as Ginsan or Silver 3 or Ginsanko G3. There's a few different names for it, but it's a very fine-grained, conventional, full stainless steel that sharpens up really, really well and takes a great edge and is just an excellent steel for kitchen knives. So it's top-notch stuff. And so what they do is they have that hardcore cutting-edge steel. You can kind of see the cladding line right here pretty easily, and they cover that on each side with a soft stainless cladding, which does wrap over the top of the spine. And then it's got some kind of patterned hammer marks into it, and also engraved kanji, so with a lot of nice features on these knives. So the weight and dimensions on these will vary just a little bit from knife to knife, but this particular one is 137 grams or 4.8 ounces with this handle. And the overall length is about 312 millimeters or 12.3 inches. The edge length itself is right about 170 or 6.7 inches. The spine thickness, these are not super thick coming out of the handle. Some knives of this style are pretty thick coming out of the handle, but this one is not. So I got about 2.8 millimeters of spine thickness above the back of the heel, and then about halfway down I measured about 2.1. And we don't have a lot of taper on the thickness of the spine from there, but if you look, you'll see it gets pretty thin at the tip. These things do very nicely through product. And then here is your choil or back of the knife shot. So these are pretty thin at the edge. The performance is quite good on these. You can see the grind is fairly generous on them, where they start grinding down to the edge. Blade height, about 47 millimeters, so there's plenty of height and a good curve here. Nice gentle curve for your finger and a pinch grip, so very pinch grip friendly ergonomics here. The handles are just a good basic octagonal ambidextrous walnut handle with a black peckerwood ferrule. Pretty nice fit and finish all the way around on the handle. Looks like they did a pretty good job sealing up the tang as well. There's usually some drill marks and things, and sometimes in the end of the knife there. So always take a look at that, and if there are some gaps, you want to seal that up with something so you don't get any moisture in there. Circumference on this handle is about 75 millimeters or 3 inches-ish where the two materials meet. Balance point, Santokus tend to, they're not very long, so balance points are going to be a little further back. So there's your balance point, which is pretty much right about where that choil is. So it's a little handle heavy from a balance point of view, but still pretty darn nimble. Obviously, it's a pretty light knife. It's under 5 ounces. So fit and finish, these are very nice looking knives and consistent in the quality of the fit and finish. So we'll get our beauty shot right there. So on the left side of the blade, as you'd be holding it, you can see you do have some hand chiseled kanji. It's very well done. It's becoming a little less common these days. So very nicely done. You've got a hammered pattern finish to it. There's your finish marks on the equipment they use to finish it off. And then pretty generous grind here. You can see it's pretty thin at the edge the way that cladding line comes up fairly high. And then here's the right side of the blade as you would be holding it and using it. So it's very pretty nice, very well done. This has some embossed kanji on it. The handle, I should say the spine, is nicely done. It's got some polish to it, a little bit of edge softening on the corners. You've got some nice polish and corner softening on the edges of the choil here into the neck, so it's very, very comfortable out of the box. This has a pretty nice out of the box edge. I'll give it a 6 out of 10 on my scale. You can get this very, very sharp. So nice fit and finish, straight blades, thin at the tip, thin at the edge, engraved kanji. It's a real nice package on these things, all stainless. So let's look at what it looks like on the cutting board. So this is how it looks like on the cutting board. So fairly curvy for a Santoku, but you can see I can rock it about right in there. So I can't get super high on it because the tip's fairly low. That's the style of this knife. That's the way it's supposed to be. And you can definitely see fairly curvy, not real flat spot on here. So not a good chopper per se, but it'll do a lot of other stuff pretty well. So these are just very well made, and again, pleasure to use. They're easy to take care of, and just a real nice package. So get that set up there. So this is the Yahiko Ginsan or Silver 3 Hammered Santoku 165mm knife.